Okay, in this quick screencast, I'm going to show you how we can better sort our email into these tabs. So I'm using the different tabs in my Gmail, and I would like my primary tab, and you don't necessarily have to do it this way. You can sort email into these tabs however you'd like, but what I like to try to set up is that my primary tab has most of the email that's addressed specifically to me. And then in the social, I'll put things from, Pinterest, Twitter, Google Plus, that sort of thing. Promotions would be like, sales things and maybe ASCD articles, that sort of thing. Updates will have about the different tech tools and things. And then in the forums, I like to have all of the email that goes out to like the high school staff or the middle school staff or the Bearsville staff, etc. So I noticed that this email here was sent out to MS staff, but it went in my primary tab, but it's not addressed to me. So I'd like it to go over into my forums tab. So there's a couple ways that you can teach Google how to do this. The first thing that you can do is you can just take a message and you can just drag it up to the tab. Now, one thing that I've learned when it does that is it looks more of like who the message is from. And I don't always want email from this person to always go to the forum because they might email me individually. So I'm not going to click this yes button. I'm just going to drag that email in there, and if I refresh my screen, it'll get rid of that message. But if I keep dragging things up there, Gmail will start to realize that it's actually the to box that I want to sort it, not from the from box. So if it's to HS staff, I want it to go here. So if you keep dragging emails to HS staff from different people and you don't tell it that you want to add that sender, then it'll start to recognize that it's actually the to field is the common thing. So Google it is smart, they will start to learn how you like to sort. So that's one way. The other way though is just to tell Google exactly how you want it to work. So if I go in here, I notice that this is to HS staff. So I'm just going to make sure I copy this email address. And then I'm going to filter messages like these. I'm going to click this little down arrow here, go to filter. And now by default, it's looking for the person that it was sent to. But like I said, I actually want to sort it by the to and say mail that's sent to MS staff, and then I want to create a filter, and then I want to categorize that as a forum, and then I'm also going to apply that to 51 other messages that I've already gotten. I'm going to click create filter, and now that email is no longer there. And if I go to my forums tab, it is there. So now I've got a little more of my MS staff, HS staff, BA staff filtered into the right category. So here's another one. This is sent out to HS staff. So I want to help categorize this. I'm just going to copy it. Clicked on that down arrow to get that. Just find anywhere you can find the email address to copy. And then I'm going to go over here, click more, filter. I don't want all my mail from Julie to go into that forum because if she emails me directly, I want that to come into my primary tab. But I do, if it's the to field says HS staff, I do want that. So I just want to create a filter so that this automatically happens. So anytime the mail message is to HS staff, I want to come down here, and you have all different kinds of options of how you want it to work, but I want to categorize it as a forum, and I'm going to apply that to 48 other email messages and click create filter. And now that email is no longer there, and I go over to forums, and here it is down here. So now I'm starting to collect all my building staff email into this forum. That way, mail message that's sent directly to me isn't going to get filtered, or is going to get filtered out in the primary tab. So hopefully I don't miss it. And then any like whole group messages is going to go into this forums tab. And you can do the same thing if I were to get, like I said, a book recommendation from ASCD. That to me, the book recommendation would be like a promotion, because usually you have to buy those books from ASCD. So I might check that box and repeat that process and say any ASCD, book advertisements I want to filter into my promotions tab. That way it kind of categorizes things based on the type of email it is. So hopefully that's helpful.